Welcome back, guys. Storytime here, and today we are reading 7 true creepy ghost stories. And if you guys would like to read along, there is a source down in the description below. You can always come along and read with me. So let's get right into it. Number 7. They went to sleep, but the kitchen didn't. One night, I was staying with some of my friends, and we all fell asleep pretty late, around 3 a.m. I woke up and I heard something that sounded unmistakably like kitchen cabinets opening and shutting. It was loud enough that I felt like I had to see what was going on. I didn't see anyone in the kitchen, so I assumed I was hearing things. Well, the next morning when I woke up, one of my friends was really upset and crying. She said that she woke up in the middle of the night and heard people talking in the kitchen saying, "We are not wanted here anymore. We aren't important." It was really scary. Number 6. This is what happens when you drive down a haunted road. When I was 18, I was really into scary movies. I just had the urge to see or experience something scary. It was during this summer that I started researching haunted sites I could visit. Then one caught my attention, Sweet Hollows Road in Long Island. There are a bunch of popular urban legends linked to the site. All of them have to do with a creepy underpass bridge. A few of the stories speak out about the violent deaths of children. One day I told my cousin and brother, who were also ghost story fanatics, that we should visit Sweet Hollows. My cousin had just gotten his license and my mom insisted on tagging along. When we finally got to the underpass, we found nothing. We didn't see anything out of the ordinary. The only scary thing we experienced at the site was that due to the zigzag-like road, we almost crashed into a tree. We thought the trip was a waste. But then something strange happened. The next morning, my mom swore that during the last night, she felt like someone or something was watching her from under her bed. On the other hand, the rest of us had dreamt about a small boy with black hair. He was pale, and none of us could remember his face. Until this day, we still believe that whoever we saw had to be one of the many children who had died under that bridge. Number 5. How did this chandelier mysteriously break? One night, my brother, dad, and I were sleeping, and we heard a giant crash in my kitchen. We all woke up and ran into the kitchen to see what happened. The chandelier had been ripped out of the ceiling as if someone had yanked it off. It didn't look like it just fell because the chain was completely out of the ceiling. It was super crazy. Thinking about it now, maybe it was just Psy swinging on my chandelier. Number 4. This house had a visitor who wouldn't leave. When I was 7 years old, we had a ghost in our house. I remember one night we were talking in the living room and suddenly a glass of water went flying off the counter. Another time the cabinets started opening and closing. It was so bad that my parents got a priest to come to the house and do what would most likely be called an exorcism of some sort. We found out later that an old woman used to live in this house until she was murdered by her husband. We ended up moving, but I still have nightmares. Number 3. They thought Bloody Mary was just a legend. My friends were sleeping over, and just as a joke, someone said Bloody Mary in front of the mirror in my basement. Nothing happened, so we all went to sleep. Then about 2 a.m., I woke up and it sounded like somebody was pacing on the other side of the wall in the unfinished part of the basement. Then I looked around and realized the sound had woken up several of my friends, so I asked if anyone wanted to check it out. Everyone was too afraid, so we tried to ignore it until slowly we fell back asleep. In the light of the day, everything seemed fine again, and we didn't think anything of it until several days later. I was scrolling through old pictures on my camera roll when I saw a picture I definitely did not take. It was one of my friends who did the Bloody Mary. And the photo was of her staring into the mirror she did it in. The picture was really dark. I immediately talked to one of my friends who were over that night, and everyone swore they didn't take it. So who did? Number 2. No one was in the bedroom, but the motion detector went off. I have motion detectors in my house, and one day I was walking to my dad's girlfriend's house, and my burglar alarm went off. The police came to my house to find out that my dad's motion detector went off in his room when no one was there. My dad thought it was a defect, so he had the alarm system replaced. A few days later, the motion detector went off in his room again. And when it happened again, we gave up and thought it was probably my mom, who passed away when I was younger, haunting us because everyone hated my dad's new girlfriend. It was probably a sign. Number 1. She went looking for a ghost story, and she found one. I was at Barnes & Noble's about 3 years ago. It was October, so they had a table with ghost books on display. I was curious, so I walked over and started looking at a book. The book had a picture of a real ghost captured. I was fascinated by it. At the same time I was looking for the book, my ring started to heat up, and then it shattered, falling onto the table. I was freaked out. I touched the broken piece, and they were cold as ice. Story time here, guys. And I appreciate you guys watching it to the end. And if you did, please drop a like on this video if you guys would like to see more ghost stories. And again, the source is in the description below. Go check that out. Follow my Twitter. It's No Name YouTuber. That is my other channel, which I do gaming content and other stuff like vlogs and crap. But I hope you enjoyed this. And again, leave a comment saying below what you guys would like to see, whether it's certain types of stories or just more of these. And if you guys would like to see more ghost stories, again, please drop a like on this video. It helps so much. And yes, I will see you guys later. And don't forget, watch out behind you.